wing. Ball to the middle very quickly, over the shoulder and controlled at the back line by Murphy. Murphy looking to head out, and a good backing play that time by Hodges. Hodges clears up, and finally Billy North clears the ball back towards midfield. Sterling right back, pressing the attack down the right wing this time. As coming quickly as Jenkins. Jenkins through the middle, picked up by Carmack. Carmack charging hard, hits Vitarelli. Vitarelli outside, crosses neatly and across the end line. Excellent thought, Bill Connors.
Well, that's the first we've seen of teamwork actually coming to the forefront of a shot on goal. I question whether Vitarelli was aiming for the goal or trying to cross it. I don't think he hit it as well as he wanted to, but that was the first time we saw 3 or 4 different players from the same team make actual passes, intended to be passes, and it resulted in something that was at least somewhat dangerous.
In for Haddonfield now, Chris Wisleko. Wisleko in midfield trying to control play. Ball played by Sterling to their back line now. Big Chris Scout looking to hit in the middle. Has the ball taken away by Haddonfield. Ball fed quickly to the back line, played loosely at the back line by Sandoval. Sandoval finally feeds back and gets a good clearing pass from Jimmy Pine. Pine combines with Scout, clears the ball up through the middle. Ball again, scrambling play in the middle, finally settled by Carmack. Carmack feeds out to his left wing and back to Chris Scout. Scout trying to push the ball up to Montemuro. Montemuro controls in confrontation with Wilesko. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Wilesko plays back down the near wing now on the throw. Haddonfield across the back line by Tommy Burns. Burns covering up very well.
He's very safe back there. He, when he can turn upfield, he does with either his right or his left foot. On that particular play, if he turned it up, he would have hit it into a player, and it would have been a problem. So he just cleared it right out and took no chances.
Throw-in controlled by Wisleko. Back now, kicked forward, and coming up very quickly for Sterling is Eric Jenkins. Jenkins loses control up the near side. Reagan. Reagan tries to feed and cut off sharply at the back line by Sandoval. Sandoval now retreats. Haddonfield in control, pressing through the middle. Very quick pass that time from Reagan up through the middle. Reagan trying to combine with Desencio. Desencio loses control. Wilesko has it now. Wilesko trying to feed back to Desencio. Desencio loses it, and coming up Jimmy Pine. Jimmy Pine now charging through the middle, loses control, over dribbles the ball a bit. Now challenged by Wilesko out to the far side to Taylor. Kenny Taylor for Haddonfield, controlling play, pushing back up his own right wing. Crosses midfield now, settles the ball, looks for a pass, steps around to the outside. And the ball controlled finally by Wilesko. Excuse me, no, we're going to have a free kick on that pushing ball.
Frank Cunningham from behind, trying to get back into the play, was beat by his step, so he just got him out of the way then in that case.
Big Tommy Burns to take the free kick for Haddonfield. Burns looking for someone in the middle. We have a quick exchange going on. Players rotating in and out now, trying to confuse the defense. Burns takes his time, looks for a man, pushes the ball up very nicely in the middle. Ball up in the air and controlled by Basil. Basil quickly out on the throw, but the ball gets caught in the teeth of the wind, hangs a little high. Sterling controls, trying to feed down the right wing. Is Lomas. Lomas controls the ball slightly, has the ball kicked out by Haddonfield. Throw in Sterling at midfield. Carmack looking down the wing, trying to hit Tom Vitarelli. And the ball did cross into play, Bill Connors. Throw in Haddonfield. And again, the wind comes into play.
Well, that's the referee right on the spot there. He's the one who makes the call. No question in his mind that that's the way it should be.
Haddonfield controlling the ball through the middle now. Desencio looking up through the middle. Puts the ball right on the feet of D'Amato. D'Amato trying to come to the left wing to Reagan. Reagan with the cross through the middle. Nobody home, and the ball goes right through Basil's hands across the end line. Corner kick, Haddonfield.
Boy, that was really dangerous. Now I've finally seen both teams have put something together at each end, and this is what makes soccer so great. You go from one end and one team looks good. Now a minute later, Haddonfield looks like they're coming on, and it's been back and forth, and neither team has really set in a dominant situation yet.
Well, that time, D'Amato, Desencio, and Reagan combined beautifully on a three-point passing play, with Reagan looking to cross, and unfortunately, no one home as the cross came through Basil's hands.
Yeah, well, it did get to the far right wing, who eventually got in, but the man up the middle wasn't there to respond to it. We have a corner kick now.
Corner kick, Haddonfield. Ball up in the air, very well up, loose play in front, and let's check the number. Yes, indeed, Big Luke Hodges got his head on the ball, but just over the crossbar. His head was above Basil's hands.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, it looked like Basil misjudged it because that ball went behind him. Hodges was on the backside of that particular ball, and Basil either has to go up and get it or not go out at all. And looked like he was a little unsure of himself at that point in time.
Haddonfield's confidence buoyed a bit by that offensive charge as they push on defense now and just can't control, as coming back is Sterling. Handled now on the near side by Jenkins. Jenkins goes back and gets a good clearing pass through the middle, but just miskicked by his compatriot in the center, controlled by Haddonfield. Wislesko down the far side very quickly for D'Amato. D'Amato challenged on the back line and has the ball kicked away across the sideline by Jimmy Pine. Throw in Haddonfield. Throw in to be taken by Taylor. Taylor now takes the throw very softly through the middle for Wislesko. Tries to backhead the ball loosely, cannot be controlled by his team until it reaches nearly midfield, and finally North controls, tries to put back through the middle. Quick shot taken off the left foot of number 6, Mike Knorr, across the end line. We've got a goal kick, Sterling.
Nice idea, though. I mean, he took that ball first time. He didn't give the goalie time to get set up. Had he put it on net, it might have been a little bit dangerous. He was about 10 feet to the right, but nice idea to challenge that goaltender when you have a chance like that.
Goal kick, Sterling now to be taken by the big man, Chris Scout. Scout looks to push through the middle. Ball controlled off the head of Haddonfield. Still scrambling in the middle. Both clubs, and we've got a player down, injured in the middle of the field. Finally, Haddonfield has the ball out to the wing and across the sideline off the foot of number 5, Eric Jenkins. We have timeout called for the injured player. We'll check his number. I believe it's Dean D'Amato. Indeed, Coach Joe Falena coming out to check on his injured player, and he seems to be really favoring that left leg considerably, the left ankle in particular, Bill.
He's hardly moving that at all. I hope it's not a serious kind of injury, but he doesn't want to move too much, and he does look uncomfortable.
He does indeed. Why don't we take a quick look now? Yes, indeed, he is getting to his feet, and I think he's doing the right thing, Bill. He's going to be leaving the playing field.
Well,
Good
actually,
idea with a young
with
player.
the rule change this year in the high school level, if the referee stops the clock for an injury and the coach steps on the field, then that player must leave the field. So as soon as Joe Falana came onto the field, there was no question D'Amato was going off, but looking at him hobbling over to the sideline, there's no question he should be off the field right now. And maybe after a couple minutes he'll be relaxed enough to come back in and help his team again. And it's a shame for Haddonfield. He was doing a nice job out there hustling up and down for them.
Absolutely. Coming in his place, John Hitchner now. John Hitchner coming in to take the place of the injured Dean D'Amato. Let's hope D'Amato's loss won't affect the Haddonfield offense too much, as they had just really started generating some good flow. Throw in Haddonfield now, play on again. And we have a push call. White
against
Haddonfield.
Yeah, Haddonfield, the guy put his hands right on the back of the Sterling ball player. This John Hitchner just came in the game, is the second of the 2 sophomores that are on this Haddonfield club.
Hitchner comes together with the Sterling defense. Ball finally controlled by DeCencio. DeCencio looking to go out right wing, has the ball cut off, controlled by Wislesko. Wislesko trying to control back again, gets the ball across to Reagan. Reagan now looks near side for Murphy. Murphy controls, tries to go back across flow one more time. Ball controlled on the back line by Kenny Taylor, who just miskicked the ball. Sterling comes away. Handled quickly by Carmack. Carmack looking to feed up through the middle, and stepping up from the back line, Haddonfield defense clears it nearly to the penalty box. Finally, DeCencio controls. Collapsed on by 2 Sterling defenders. Ball cleared through the middle, but Luke Hodges puts it back up off that big foot. Quick charge now. Shot, goal! Off the foot of Wislesko. Chris Wislesko with the first goal of the game as Haddonfield jumps on top, 1-0.
That was just an excellent opportunity. That ball laid out there on the right wing, and he just took 2 small steps. You know, a fellow as big as Wislesko, you'd think he'd be taking giant steps, but he took 2 small strides and just put his foot on it on the laces and took his time and hit a low shot. Most players would have been tempted to bang the devil out of that ball, and instead we've got a 1-0 game and a well-deserved 1-0 right now for Haddonfield.
Senior Chris Wislesko showing a lot of patience and a lot of poise on a kick that many players would have definitely overpowered or overstepped, controlled the ball and took it to the far post past Rich Basil. Haddonfield on top, 1-0 here in the first quarter of play. Sterling to kick off now. Ball back to the middle, looking to set a play up, trying to go down the left wing very quickly to Montemuro. Montemuro controls. Montemuro now back towards the center, taken down on a tough tackle that time by Tommy Burns. And we'll have a penalty called on the play, direct kick now.
Yeah, that was an obvious call, I think. What I've noticed too, John, is the wind is whipping up a lot more now.
It is indeed. The wind becoming more and more a factor as Sterling controls the ball in their own left wing. Ball centered very quickly and stepping in front confidently, Dave Capelli. Capelli controls the ball and comes out looking for a teammate, and he's going to take advantage of the wind and punt the ball downfield. Good low punt with the wind. Ball across the sideline. We'll have a throw in Haddonfield.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the quarter does change or if Sterling gets the wind at their back, if it makes a difference or not. I don't think Haddonfield's goal was wind related, but boy, as a player, it sure feels nicer to run with the wind at your back instead of at your face.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You'd rather have that wind working for you than against you. No question about it. Ball control by Haddonfield through the middle now. Trying to hit Reagan on a quick break. Could not control. Now comes out to the wing to Murphy. Murphy looking for a man in the middle. And the ball right into the chest of Jimmy Pine. Pine controls now, looking to come out, moves very quickly. Stepped in front of by Noor. Noor now feeds back to his defense. To big Luke Hodges. Hodges controls it from the midst of people, goes left wing. Nobody home, but the ball loosely played through the middle. Sterling defense now, scrambling a bit, and finally back to Basil to control.
Good heads-up play by Montemuro on that particular one. Scout looked like he was still looking for the ball bouncing. Had a lot of spin on it, and he lost sight of it. But Montemuro was right on top of the play.
Excellent anticipation that time by Craig Montemuro. Montemuro, a big factor in today's game so far, has been right in the thick of things. We have a direct kick now called. Haddonfield will take control at midfield, and stepping up to take the direct kick, I believe, will be the big guy, Luke Hodges. Indeed, Hodges and North on the back line with Kenny Taylor. And it's going to be Hodges to take the kick. Haddonfield now looking to set up an offense. They're excellent off the restarts, Bill. And here we have a very slow play. I apologize. That's Tommy Burns to take the kick. Tries to go out to Taylor. Taylor now looking down wing. And we have a stoppage of play.
We had a Sterling fella, Frank Cunningham, sliding into the Kenny Taylor on the wing there. And even though the ball was somewhat of Haddonfield's advantage, the referee called that foul after the kick was over.
Once again, Burns will take the free kick. Burns lofts it up into the penalty area, into the hands of Rich Basil. Basil controls, comes out. He had an excellent punt last time around against the wind. Tries it again, gets it a little too high. The ball gets caught up, but gets good carry. And through the middle quickly, Lomas. Lomas trying to control, and he's down. And Lomas is hurt. We have a timeout on the field as Lomas went down very hard, Bill Connors.
Yeah, he's actually writhing in pain out there. I wish that fellow would let his leg go and just let him do it as such. John, I think it's time that we ought to take a break from one of our sponsors and see what's happening here. We'll be right back after this from one of our sponsors. Thank you.